And thank you for coming in to be interviewed by us for a distinguished young woman.
Thank you for coming.
So with that, we'll get started with the interview process. And that would be you.
Was it me? Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. Television personality and new mom Giuliana Rancic was recently criticized for stating in an interview that she and her husband Bill put their marriage before their child. How do you interpret that statement, and how does it make you feel?
I don't have a lot of knowledge about the specific person you're talking about, but I think she might have meant, in that statement, she probably was talking about how she and her husband wanted to make sure that their marriage was strong, because a strong marriage is an important part of any family situation. So instead of, maybe some people took it as they didn't think that their child was as important as themselves. I think that statement could be taken as she wanted to make sure that they had a strong family bond all together to make sure that their children had a good foundation.
Outside of school, what is your greatest achievement?
Well, I spend a lot of time with band, which is still a school activity, but a lot of it is done after school. And the last 4 years of high school, I've been in the marching band and concert band. And this past year, I was field commander in the marching band. So I was in charge of making sure that everyone understood where they were supposed to be on the field, because there's lots of different sets where everyone has to be on a specific place. So my job was to make sure that everyone knew what they were doing, and if anyone had questions, I was there to help them. And I thought it was a great opportunity for me to take something that I love doing. The marching band is something I really love doing, and I was able to share that with the freshmen and the other underclassmen and help them to improve.
Emily, which constitutional freedom do you value most as an American?
I think the freedom of religion is really important. That is one of the founding principles of our country. Many people came to North America to be able to practice their religion freely, and in a lot of cases that ended up kind of turning around. A lot of times, unfortunately, that ended up where other religions were being oppressed. And I think it's really important that every individual has the opportunity to express themselves and to believe what they choose to believe, and for anyone else to tell them they're wrong or tell them that there's something wrong with them for thinking that is something that I don't think should ever happen. I think that our Constitution is really important because it protects that right.
What is the most meaningful life lesson that you have encountered today?
Something that I've learned from my parents and from the interactions that I've had with other adults in my life is to respect anyone who you come in contact with, especially those older than you or those who may differ from you in some way. It's very important to respect who they are and respect them for where they've come from and where they're going.
Emily, I'm doing interviews for your best friend. I need you to tell me one reason that I should choose you to be my new best friend.
I work very hard to be honest. I will, if there's something going on, I want to be as honest with my friends as possible. And at the same time, I try very hard to be caring and to understand what another person feels and what they're thinking and their opinions on things. But one of my most important values is honesty, where if something is going on, I will not hesitate to tell you about something if I know that there's a possibility of you getting hurt in the future.
Emily, what one event in history, if you could go back in history, what one event in history would you like to witness and why?
I actually did a project in my world history class on the Reformation because I'm very interested in the cultural effects, causes and effects of events in history, the way that people were affected, the way that people, the reasons why people did something, and the ways that the people after them were affected by those people's actions. And the Reformation was really interesting to me because it was a turning point in European history. and in turn a lot of Americans' history, because a lot of Europeans spread around the rest of the world.
Thank you.
Emily, you listed Thomas Jefferson and Michelangelo as favorite historical personalities. Can you tell us why?
I have a lot of respect for Thomas Jefferson, not only because he was president of the United States, but also because of the other things he achieved in his life, especially the University of Virginia, which he founded, which my aunt and my mom both went to, and I hope to go to next year. But something I find really interesting about Thomas Jefferson is that on his tombstone, he didn't have being president of the United States on there. He had other things like founding University of Virginia and the writing of the Virginia Statutes of Religious Freedom on his tombstone, and as more important than being president. I thought that was really interesting and really important part of his personality. And then Michelangelo, I actually had the opportunity to tour Europe for 10 days with my mom in between 6th and 7th grade, and it was a whirlwind 10 days. But one of the things that stood out to me was being in Italy and seeing David and understanding the world that Michelangelo came from and how he achieved so much artistically and philosophically in that time.
Emily, we all describe ourselves in different ways. What are 3 adjectives that could best describe you?
The first one that comes to mind would be empathetic, which is actually a word that one of my previous teachers used to describe me, because I am affected by the emotions of other people, and I try to understand and appreciate and help other people with the emotions that they're feeling, because I feel like that's a really important part of human interaction. Maybe enthusiastic would be the next one, because when I like doing something, I am not afraid of showing it. Band is one of those things. Purple is my favorite color, and I am not afraid to show it. And a third one, I suppose musical might be another one, because I play percussion in the school band, so I've learned a lot of different instruments, but I also enjoy learning about other styles of music and hearing what other people feel and what they have to say about different styles of music that they really enjoy.
Emily, does any American citizen not actively in the military or involved in law enforcement really need an AK-47 assault rifle?
I do not think so, especially with the high number round clips. I don't think there's any reason for any person to have that. I understand completely the importance of hunting and other kinds of sports that include guns or rifles. I understand the historical and cultural importance of those things. But in terms of the kinds of military weapons that are currently in production and circulation, I don't think those are necessary at all in our culture. And especially with the tragedies that have occurred recently, historically, a lot of other countries have, after tragedies like this, citizens have turned into the government hundreds of thousands of guns because they didn't want them in their homes anymore. And the fact that in the United States, that trend, we have the opposite trend currently, that I cannot understand that. I don't understand why anyone would want that kind of weapon in their home.
Emily, what are you going to do to win this pageant?
I am going to be as honest and truly true to myself as I can be. Because if I'm anything, I'm honest and I am straightforward, and I just want to show everyone who sees me in this program to really know who I am and where I'm coming from.
All right, Emily, we've reached that time mark. Is there anything that you'd like to add or touch upon that we didn't ask you about?
One of the most important things that I wanted to make sure I covered was the importance of band in my life, which I did cover a little bit, but starting in 6th grade, I was in the school band and I played percussion, but 7 years later, now after being in marching band for 4 years, I have met and spent time with so many incredible people, and they've affected me so much, and I feel like such a better person to have had the leadership experience and the experience of going to competitions and the camaraderie that those of us in the band feel when we go to these kinds of competitions. I wanted to share that that is something that I really feel has shaped me.
Okay, thank you. Now you can sit down.
I have a question. You have Gorilla Glue.
Yeah,
You never,
hand.
you never open them.
I
You
know.
never
That's
open
because
them.
if I didn't, I would end up doing
That's what
That's
she's
right.
working on it.
I would end up
because she was-
interpretive dancing.
She would have. I thought it was better.
That's
No, you have done better because I
You have done
remember reading
better.
that critique
Yeah.
a few weeks ago whenever we did it, and I noticed it was better. I felt like you were thinking in your head,
Yeah.
do not separate them. Do not
Yeah, no,
separate them.
Now it's almost,
Now
now
it's like,
it's,
Oh,
very distracted.
now she's
darn.
got them clenched
You're
together
trying
to
to
the
pull out
point
the
where.
answers with your hands, and you have totally wonderful answers coming right out of that.
Oh, yeah.
And you are smiling, and she's more animated. I know she's worked on this.
And she wasn't wiggling at the bottom like she was last time.
She's a
Yeah,
little
well,
bit.
But not as bad as she was.
What were you dancing in here?
She was. She had on.
And she's like jumping.
No, she wasn't. It was just like her hand movements would start down here, and then as her answer went on, it would get up here, and then it was just.
She's very expressive.
and then after I would have all these kinds of gesticulations
It's
going
because
on, I
it's
would
from
try to
the
bring it
marimba.
back.
Yeah, it's
And I would end
Because
up
she's used to playing the
I would-
marimba,
She
and
was
she's
bringing
bringing
I
her
would
hands.
end up wringing my hands because I realized I was doing this. So then I would end up twisting, and so that's why I picked one thing to do.
She
But what it
feels
looks
music.
like is
Yeah, yeah,
that you are
yeah.
pulling the answers out with your hands, and that's really not where they're coming from.
Okay.
So, because you have.
I didn't get that feeling. I didn't get that feeling.
She was just here the
I mean,
whole
it was
time.
just obvious that,
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't seen it
She-
before, but I
She
could
was
just
trying
see this.
so
It was
hard
like,
not to do that.
Yeah, I knew what she was trying to do, and I thought it was better than the arms going all over the place
Right.
because you still were expressing with your hands a little bit, but not aggressively.
Those little movements are good, they do. work
Okay.
on you.
But usually they start small and then they get bigger.
Even if you took them for a couple questions and put them behind your back and interlocked
Just
them.
move them somewhere.
But they're just right here for the
Right.
whole 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Sarah.
yeah, if she separates and, because this,
Yeah.
and I also think this is making her very tense.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
that's why she's still moving a little bit. And Janie, I mean, I know that you guys have seen the improvement, but these people have no idea.
I know.
that That's why she's doing
So all
it.
they,
Yeah.
so all they see
But your
is me on
answer,
their
I
feet.
Yeah.
thought your answers were much improved over last time.
Oh, I
And you know
know.
what? They were to the point,
Yeah.
and
A
they.
couple of them were just, when I asked you the questions about the
Bless you.
adjective, what you said, and then the first statement you said after described you enough that I don't think you needed to,
Oh, okay.
you didn't ramble, but I think they would have been sufficient, which would have
Right.
given us some more opportunity to ask more
More
questions.
questions,
You didn't need
Bless
to
you.
explain it any more than what you, and I didn't even ask you why, but it was nice that you said why.
Okay.
There was a nervous pitch in your voice.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're intimidated, and it's a lot of us, but I can say she's not relaxed. You know, great answers.
Yeah.
But I didn't, you know, like you were talking to friends, right?
Yeah, I kept forgetting to breathe.
Oh, so you're aware of it.
That's what
Okay,
I
okay.
said. I'm gonna tag on him. I'm gonna take you back to band because I love band too. You know the rush you feel when you're getting ready to take the field right before whether it's
Yep.
the Barclay band competitions, and you know how you have to grip those emotions and have them in check so you don't miss anything on that marimba. Excuse me. Think about that. Go through that procedure psychologically. What it is that you do to get yourself to be like, okay, I have to be relaxed.
Right.
And that's going to make a huge difference. And I think that may actually attack what's going on with this as well.
And deep breathing always works
Yeah.
before you go in. Just
Because you're very excited, and on top of the voice, sometimes you're giggling a little bit.
Yeah.
You kind of have this giggle.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't want you to giggle when someone's asking, and this is, Kate, you stole my question, I was gonna ask about gun control. And, I mean, your answer was great for that. So you're definitely keeping up with your current events, and we can tell.
Mhm.
So that's very important. You know, and at first I was kind of like, oh, she keeps talking about band. And then I was like, but you know what, you're right, band is what makes you, and you can see that. And, so at first I was maybe gonna tell you, oh, let's maybe talk about something other than band, but you know what, you're very genuine about it, and so,
And it was tailored in different ways. I mean, at the end, she said, being in the band had allowed her to meet so many different people who've had an influence on her.
And
So,
camaraderie, that was a great
yeah.
word. You
Took me a sec to
you
get that
good,
word.
no, your vocabulary is very good.
You know, for me personally, the last few words that you said in that entire interview really resonated with me because you said the whole it was like summing up for me why the whole band thing was so important was because it had shaped you and you wanted us to understand.
Yeah.
And to me, that was like such a beautiful conclusion to the entire interview, and it just stood out as just
Right.
being very important for me.
And I
how
like your
felt about it.
hair like that, half up and half down. I really would like some lip gloss.
Oh,
and a
yeah.
little bit of
Mascara.
makeup.
a little
I
blush.
don't, yeah, my normal makeup is just eyeliner and a little bit of
Mhm.
spot stuff, but I'll be doing a little bit more.
Do you have on what you would normally wear?
This is what I normally wear like every day.
Have you been to a counter at, like
This is
Nordstrom?
not every day.
Have they
Yeah,
they've done your
sorry.
makeup? They've done your makeup?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've had it, you've seen how it, okay.
But you
And get the girls backstage to help you,
Yeah.
or there.
Purple is great, but you need to counter it with some more upbeats.
Yeah.
You really do. And I did it in your pictures in your book, so, you know, pick me if you want to, but you have lip gloss on.
One of the things around nervousness that will help you, all the judges are your best friends. So
Okay.
walk in like you're talking to your friends. Just relax. Don't be intimidated by the group, right? You have no reason to be intimidated. You're a bright and very beautiful young lady. So when you walk in, you're talking to your best friends, and you want to show me, the question I asked you, you want to show me why I'm going to choose you to win this pageant.
You know, and
And just
honestly,
relax yourself.
exactly what you just said, and honestly, the judges, quite honestly, they really want you. We're all rooting for you.
Yeah.
So the truth is that exactly like what you say, think of it not as an intimidating,
Right.
but as you're really with a group of people who are pulling for you.
No.
No.
I can put it up differently. Thank you. Sorry, but I can put it up differently so that there's more hair here. I pulled all of this back.
I don't know.
Do you
what I
curl
would
it
like
at all?
Mm-mm. Oh, it doesn't hold curl very well.
Well,
Do
just
you
smooth.
dry it with a
Right.
hair dryer?
Sorry?
I think I like your hair half up and half down, but I think it looks messy.
Yeah, it needs to be
I think it
smoothed.
doesn't look like it was, do you dry it with a hair dryer or do you just let it? Yeah,
I just
she
let
did,
it.
I can tell.
I
she
don't. This
doesn't-
is just natural.
Yeah, yeah, I
You
can
never
tell
dry
that.
it?
What about a flat iron?
Usually,
Do you flat iron?
I yes.
Can we can't see them at all before, Sarah can't touch them?
In the bathroom,
Sarah
did you
can't
eat in
touch
the
her
bathroom
hair.
By accident?
By
Can't
accident.
feed our host
Oh.
family house at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I'm looking at you and I knew that you did not dry your hair with a hair dryer.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell.
Mhm.
So, I
Electric
just,
rollers ever?
no, I think that's good. If we dry it with a hair dryer, do you have a flat iron?
Yeah, I have both.
Just to smooth it
Just to
out.
smooth. Yeah,
Yes.
just put it out.
Okay.
Okay,
Little
so
hairspray.
Kendra and I have something to ask you. Do you
Okay.
have black boots? Like tall black boots?
No. I have black heels that are similar to this with the strap in the middle.
Closed
No.
toe?
Yeah. We need to do closed.
No.
That's fine. What size shoe do you wear?
Eight?
9? 8, depending on the.
What size shoe is that, do you know? Just take it off. And the other thing I was gonna say while you're doing that is, I think your nervousness, I think that you looked at us, but I think you kind of went around too much, and I
Yeah.
think that had something to do with your nervousness. So when you answer the question, like we've said before, look at the person that has asked you the question,
Okay.
and then look a little bit at the other people, and then come back to that person.
Okay.
So that, but I think your nervousness made you kind of look around too much, although
Okay.
you were looking at people.
Yeah.
Everything's on sale, all the boots
So what,
are
today
I
Sandwich has 40%.
I'm not.
I think it would
Let's
look,
see.
the dress would look so cute with black boots.
That would.
8.
8?
Let me see.
Oh, I have tons of black boots.
I don't know. It depends on the style. Sometimes
8
like.
medium.
Where do you want?
I'm going to see her on Tuesday. I'm going to see her on Tuesday.
Okay.
I'm going to see her
Can I
on.
have boots off at your house then?
You can drop them off at my house. I'm going to see her Tuesday.
Boots without hose?
oh, she just wore black tights and black boots. I
Yeah.
think it looked so cute with
Yeah.
that.
It was.
Because I think the dress is great.
It's like groovy.
But there's only a couple, and I think it would look really cute with black boots and black tights.
It is really plain, so I've tried to do something
That's
That was
fine.
good.
simple
Ears
that's
pierced or
still.
no? No, she doesn't have pierced ears, which is
Yeah,
fine.
and I'm not used to wearing
Earrings?
slip-ons, so
Okay.
I wouldn't be
Okay.
comfortable.
I
Mm-mm.
like the bracelet. I
It's
like the.
But the shoes, I think black boots would be very cute.
Black boots and tights would be great.
Instead of a.
Instead of the clan, yeah, and this
Like a
is kind of
style.
messy. It came out a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Turn around, what do you have it in there?
it's a
Yeah, no.
Oh.
alligator
Yeah, a nice clip.
down.
It's just
Okay.
a silver clip. Okay, so if Sarah gets the black boots to Miss Janie, you're gonna wear black tights and black boots. You're gonna have black tights?
I have black leggings, but I can get black tights.
Yeah, just get some black opaque tights.
And then the hair, okay, and a little bit more makeup.
We're not trying
And
to
then-
change you.
No,
Yeah,
it's
no,
fine.
no, no,
Just
Yeah, I
trying to
have some makeup. I
polish.
forgot to put
And
it on.
then I think you were looking like, I don't know, I kept trying to go, where were
Hi,
you?
Yeah, sorry.
It was in the middle of the table that you were looking.
And she was like
Yeah.
looking like at the paper or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I got really
wanted to
comfortable
deal
with those stone.
The
cup
water
holder-
bottle?
No,
The stone
no,
thing.
they-
That's what I felt like you were
Janie, if they're
looking at.
missing tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so it's the eye contact and a couple of the answers were kind of
Yeah.
running on, but then some of the answers were really,
Spot on.
her about going back in history was a good
Oh, that was excellent.
And how you like to know why people do things. I mean,
Yeah.
I-
Good
I-
answers.
I enjoyed your answer around Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, that was good too.
Yeah.
And it gave us a little bit
Yeah.
to know about you,
You.
because you said that's where I wanna go, and that's where, right. So it told us
Yeah.
about you.
And that's totally where you should go. I mean, I'm totally biased.
Right.
Okay.